Hi everyone, welcome to this vlog, and I have to apologise first because I do have a slight cold, so I really hope that my voice doesn't put you off and that you can still find this relaxing. But this is an interesting little vlog of being out and about at a few different places that I've not visited, so I hope you enjoy it, and let's get started with the croaky voice. We started at a nice Glasgow restaurant called Fylkir, which specialises in Danish food, and we chose the healthy mixed breakfast option, and it was amazing. It was lovely to try the different food, the muesli, the different style of eggs. The bread looks as if it's blue cheese, but it's not. It's actually got a type of seaweed in it. Oh, it was amazing, and I had my box later just to take all the little bits that I couldn't quite finish. From there, we decided to go and visit the fashion exhibition that was on at New Lanark, which is a heritage site, and they've got a big visitor centre which specialises in recent history within the area and lots of exhibitions. And although this was April in Glasgow, which can be lovely, this particular April has been utterly freezing, so it's quite grey skied, it's quite moody looking, and it was completely and utterly bitter. So because it was quite bitter weather, we were still wrapped up in our winter coats, and I still really felt it. But what doesn't change in Scotland is how lovely the scenery is. So even though you do have the moody skies, and yeah, there was a threat of rain and it did rain on and off, it's still lovely just to get out of the city centre, see the countryside, see the sheep, see the farmers' fields, and just enjoy being so close to some nature. So you can see New Lanark World Heritage Site. And when it's sunny, and especially in the summer, it's mobbed. But we went on a weekday in April when it was quite quiet. Still lots of people there, but comparatively with when it's at its peak, quiet. So you can see here, you have to walk down quite a steep hill to get to the heritage site. But when you do get there, it's beautifully restored, and it's a lovely mix of how it used to be mixed with the modern elements of what they offer. And I don't go all of the time, maybe every couple of years, but when you do go back, it's fascinating to see what is on your doorstep here, and just a little kick back to how life used to be for many people in that area. And the architecture's gorgeous, even if it was utterly freezing on the day. So we were there primarily for the textiles exhibition. There's so many elements to the place, and again, you can even see it's got the lovely little rivers going by. It's beautiful. But the exhibition, I felt it was really important to see it because it's a travelling exhibition that has come to Glasgow from London, and it's got some key fashion history moments that you don't always see in your local area. So it's called Picasso to Warhol, and I have to apologise at this moment, the lighting was quite dull. So because the lighting was dull mixed with the strip lighting, you might see an effect on the screen, the lines. That is purely because of the way the area was lit, so apologies for that, because I tried but there was nothing I could do about that. But looking beyond that, it's amazing to see exactly what they had featured within. So it was 20th century art in textiles. It had garments from prints such as Salvador Dali, Pablo Picasso, Henry Matisse, Andy Warhol. Also they had some original early Zandra Rhodes too. But what was very engaging was that it wasn't behind screens. The prints and the dresses and the scarves were right in front of you. Obviously you know not to touch, but they were just there. They were so, you could really get up close. You could see the material, see the fabric. So it felt very special. And to know that these were some items that were relatively new finds too. I believe that there's over 200 rare and vintage pieces, and apparently 4 of them are vintage printed silk designs by Andy Warhol. and some of them have never been exhibited before in the UK. So just being able to see these designs felt very special. And if you do get a chance and you do spot it in your local area, I would highly recommend it. It's been very well put together. Especially when you saw the Zandra Rhodes pieces too. If anyone knows anything about Zandra Rhodes, she's a great designer. She's very fun. I remember when I was growing up in the 80s, she was always on television here with her vibrant pink hair, and just seeing her recently, she still pops up on TV. She's still got that vibrant hair, she's still so fun and feisty and full of energy. But to see some of her designs from when she first started back in the 60s, it felt really special. A lot of the time we tend to start and finish our fashion knowledge with either what we see in front of us and what's shown to us in magazines, but there's so much more in the history and the backstory as to why current designers design the way they do. There's normally always a link back to someone who inspired them, and then likewise who inspired those that went before them. So if you can, and if it's of interest to you, whenever you see these styles of exhibitions, try and get along, because they're just inspiring, informative, and they can just open your eyes to things that you maybe weren't aware of before and link your plotted knowledge quite nicely. So as you can see, so many different styles of art, of printing, and quite a lot of antique and recent history magazines, articles, advertising, just to see some of the private collections that have been loaned to this exhibition too. To see, you can't touch, but you can see the intricacies in these designs. Just by looking at some of the dresses too, you could see the weight that was involved in them. You just knew that these were couture or commissioned pieces that would, it's no surprise that they've stood the test of time, absolutely no surprise at all. I love the 60s, the psychedelic patterns too. And that's us moving into the pop art, the buttons, the button patterns, seeing the different colour that they use. Again, a lot of these are from private collections, from commissions, and it's amazing to see how well these pieces have lasted. I love these. So I believe they're definitely 60s. I think we're into the Warhol section, but you're also, yes, we're into Warhol. But again, there's also the Zandra Rhodes collection too, which we might have seen some of as well. They're simple, but they're standout and I love them. And this is just a little bit of the shop. If there's one thing I love again about museums and heritage sites, it's the shops that go with them. And here there's quite a lot of my favourite, as you know, lots of Scottish brands that focus on the skincare, the nice individual soaps, the candles. And what I loved about this as well was we had the original telephone box too, a working telephone box, which was good fun. So people were using it. I liked that. And then just to finish off our day, headed into Glasgow city centre. So this is Buchanan Street. So again, just to show you, the architecture is always beautiful here, but it was again a great day. Unusual for April. It can be lovely in April, but it certainly wasn't lovely this April day. And we headed into House of Fraser on Buchanan Street, which is a destination shop. That's Princes Square that you can see there across from it. And House of Fraser here has got such a rich history, and we were going in to see one of our friends who actually owns a company called Gin 71, and they've got quite a few different shops located in Glasgow and Edinburgh. That's my thumb, apologies for that. I told you it was a little bit ropey here, and wait till you see it gets a little shaky, all my fault. But Gin 71 is new to House of Fraser, and they were offering a gin-inspired afternoon tea. So everything on the menu was either inspired by the botanicals or included gins. So it would be gin-soaked smoked salmon on your sandwich, or gin-infused fruit in your scones, or gin-infused topping on your cupcake. It was so good and so fun to try a themed afternoon tea. And if you're near Gin 71, definitely try it. And if you're not, then why don't you make your own? Because it's always so much fun to finish your day with just something a little bit different. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I look forward to hearing your comments and any suggestions for the next vlog, and I'll see you soon.